And welcome everybody to the Jim Masters Show Live. How are you and you and you? Hope everybody's doing well today. It is Monday. We are live worldwide, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I see lots of comments coming in already. This is our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. It is a pleasure to have you here live worldwide. We're in week number 24. Some 150 plus episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live, and it's a real pleasure. Again, most of you know I do this work professionally as a television and radio personality, actor, journalist, writer, producer, stage MC, voiceover narrator. Been doing it for many years on network television, regional, local television and radio. And some 24 weeks ago, we turned on the lights, brought in the TV equipment, sort of created the home studio. And here we are with our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. And we're so happy to have you with us. Thanks to everybody who's been watching, sharing the links, telling everybody about our series, and having a grand old time. We do the series every single day, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific live. And it's wonderful to have you here from wherever you're watching around the world. Let's take a look at some of the comments coming in already from our great Loveties, which are our viewers. Good evening, Jim and Loveties. We welcome lyricist and writer MICHAEL Colby to the show tonight. Looking forward to an entertaining conversation. Absolutely. Christine in North Carolina, Willie in Amsterdam or the Amsterdam area, in Holland, Netherlands. Hello, Loveties. Hello, Jim. Have a nice show. Thank you very much. Willie, good to see you as well. We have an international audience from all over the world, which is amazing, and it continues to grow by leaps and bounds. Good evening, everyone. Mary Bishop, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining us. And Marilyn in Wichita, Kansas. Hi, Jim and all our Loveties. Good to see you as well. Welcome. Willie, lots of great tulips, and she's welcoming everybody as well. Good to see everybody. Christopher Joseph is here. Hello, Jim and all the Loveties that are currently present. Christopher in Ohio. Couch Wiggles from Jennifer. She loves our theme song and our closing song to the show, the Jim Masters Singers and Orchestra, our custom theme. She loves it. She always wiggles and dances in her living room when she hears that. Good to see you, Jennifer, in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Wozniak. Hello, Jim and the Loveties. Hope everyone is enjoying a marvelous Monday. Absolutely. We were just walking along the coast moments ago. Good to see you as well. Kathy Short, happy Monday, Jim and the Liberty family from Cleveland, Ohio. Nice to see you, Kathy. Claudia, hello, everyone. Hope you've had a great Monday. You too, in Illinois and in Canada. Hi, everyone, and Jim from Merlin, from South Africa. Hello, Jim and everyone. Juanita, nice to see you here as well from beautiful South Africa. Ralph Lampkin Jr. in Indiana. Good evening, Loveties. Good to see you, Ralph. And Wozniak, don't you look dapper tonight? Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Good to see you as well. Rachel is here. Hello, watching on Facebook. And Maureen Taylor is here. Hi, Jim and everyone. Welcome, Maureen. Good to see you as well. Tesla Bella is here. Good evening, Loveties. Good to see you once again, and hope you're well in South Florida. Claudia, once again, rainy and very fall-like there in Illinois. Have a great show. Happy to be back with you, Jim. You were a guest just 3 nights ago, Tess. We loved having you here. Christopher says, rainy Monday in Ohio. Beautiful sunny day here along the coast. Hope everybody is doing well. Nice to see everybody. And we toast all of you, and all of your characters and your friends are here. So everybody's in check, and we do the usual toast. And it's really good to have you here on the show because we have so many incredible shows coming up. And we've been talking about some of the great guests that are due our way. And we're just bowled over. We're booked with guests all the way till mid-December, which is unbelievable. Our guest tonight is lyricist, writer, and the award-winning MICHAEL Colby. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with much of his work. We're excited to have him here on the show as we've been planning this show for quite some time. And it's always great when we have an opportunity to welcome somebody new to our program. He is a lyricist of such musicals as Charlotte's Suite, the Drama Desk Award nomination, Tales of Tinseltown and North Atlantic, Show Business Award, Slay It With Music, Off-Broadway in London, Mrs. McTHING, They Choose Me, and Ludlow Ladd. He was chief writer for the Drama Desk Award-winning New Amsterdam Theater Company and has been a writer for the New York Festival of Song and Theater by the Blind. He's also the author of the well-received autobiographical book, The Algonquin Kid. That's right, adventures growing up at New York's legendary hotel. J Records has released CDs of Tales of Tinseltown, Charlotte's Suite, The Complete Show, and Ludlow Ladd, Dangerous, the musical, of course, he co-wrote and has been recently optioned for Broadway. That's right. He wrote continuously for 2 benefits at the 92nd Street Y, Standing Ovations, starring Carol Channing, Nell Carter, Elaine Stritch, Leslie Uggams, and other great ladies of the theater. And the longest running show on Broadway, a tribute to Maurice Levine, hosted by Angela Lansbury, of course, the wonderful Angela Lansbury. He also wrote STEPHEN SCHWARTZ, a musical Celebration, and so much more, benefit for the Directors Company, starring Betty Buckley and Paul Shaffer and so many others. He also created special material for Animal Crackers, Paper Mill Playhouse, and Goodspeed, lyrics for Eastern America, the Garage Theater in New Jersey, the Human Heart at Marymount Manhattan College, and so much more. And we're very excited to welcome him to the show live and direct from New York. It is my pleasure to welcome Michael Colby to the show. Michael, welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us today.
Hey ho, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We hear you loud and clear.
Well, the mic is working. I got a mic for Mike tonight.
The mic is working. The headphones look great. You're in a nice little cubby there, a little corner. Looks good. The lighting is good. So how's everything going on your end with all this craziness of 2020?
Well, I've been extremely busy. I have been doing a lot of writing for different, for Sandy Durrell's Theater Pizzazz and other publications. And with composer Ned Paul Ginsberg, I put together an all-star music video as a fundraiser for the Actors Fund. And that was called The Theater Will Survive, a hope that we are all very much supporting these days.
Yeah. Kathy Short says, welcome, Michael, to the land of Lovities.
Thank you, Kathy.
We're all Lovities here on the show. The viewers are Lovities. They call me Mr. Lovity. Welcome to the show, Michael, from Juanita in South Africa. Christopher in Ohio says, welcome, Michael Colby.
I visited South Africa. One of my mentors was a well-known producer, Toby Kushlik, who opened doors for colorblind casting there, and that's also why I work for Amos Musical Theater. I've been involved with a lot of companies that have important messages and purposes.
Which is very, very important. Absolutely. That's what we love, and that's what we like to hear more of. More comments coming in from our Lovities, because we say the show is all about light, levity, all put together.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Michael, thank you for spending time with us from Maryland and Wichita, Kansas. Hey, Michael, from Jennifer in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Kathleen in New York City. Hi, Michael, and welcome. Sherry, show in line. Welcome to Lovity Hall, Michael. We're so happy that you're here. Christopher Joseph in Ohio. Welcome, Michael Colby and Wozniak. Welcome, Michael. Mary Bishop. Welcome, Michael. And it goes on and on and on. Hello, Mr. Lovity, as well as the rest of our Lovity family.
I can feel the virtual lipstick marks all over my cheeks.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is on this show. So we're very excited to have you here. And what are some things you've been working on of late, since obviously the venues are closed and you can't be there in the thrust and the throes of an audience? What are some of the things you've been doing just to keep creative and keep those juices flowing, Michael?
Well, as you mentioned, I'm working on a musical called Dangerous with libretto and music by John C. Introcaso. And the great Tony-nominated Dennis Jones is the choreographer director. And we've got some, incredible people behind it. And we're just raring to go, and the producer is Neil Rubenstein,
right?
And we
Great
had
friend,
yes, and then there's Maureen Taylor, is an incredible cabaret performer. And this past year, she did a show, Cosmic Connections, devoted to my lyrics, and she was up for a MAC award for that, and we plan to go into a studio and record it very soon. And
that's for Dangerous?
No, that's for Cosmic Connections.
Okay, yeah.
We're hoping that there will be some sort of video presentation of Dangerous, which has had versions done at Feinstein's and elsewhere. And I've also been, as usual, doing interviews for my book, The Algonquin Kid, which I was very blessed. My family from 1946 through 1987 owned the legendary Algonquin Hotel, and I was a real-life counterpart to Eloise growing up there and actually living there when I moved there when I was in my when I was 18, and until I got married, that was my abode. And I had rehearsal spaces there, and I tend to lather, so please forgive me if I wipe my lips.
Oh, you may get passionate and enthusiastic?
No, there's a full moon outside.
Oh, yeah, and
Anyway.
Mercury's in retrograde, I think, too, they said.
That's what I hear.
2020 is everything.
Right. So that book told the untold stories of the Algonquin Hotel, because there was so much that happened there after my grandparents took over. They were the second family to own the hotel. And my grandfather was an oil man from Tennessee. My grandmother, Mary Bodney, they were both Southerners. My grandmother already had something of a theatrically historical history. You see, her father, Elihu Mazo, ran Mazo's, which was one of the first kosher delis in Charleston, South Carolina, where they served kosher food to all the Steiners and the Finers. And that's where George Gershwin, when he was researching Porgy and Bess, would hang out. He dated my Aunt Sid. We always felt that she could have had him in the family, but it just didn't work out. But we had other theatrical connections. My grandmother's first cousin was Frances Butwin, who, along with her husband Julius, did the original translations of Shalom Alechem's stories, including Tevye's Daughters. And that was the basis for Fiddler on the Roof. So this was before my family even moved to the hotel. And in 1946, my grandfather, who had ups and downs in his career, but he finally made quite a bit in the oil business and decided to trade it all in, either for the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Algonquin Hotel. The Algonquin Hotel was my grandmother's choice. Pittsburgh Pirates, my grandfather was an amateur athlete and baseball player. That's what he wanted to do. But Bing Crosby, Bing beat him to the punch, outbid my grandfather. So my good luck was that we ended up at the Algonquin, because I have no athletic abilities whatsoever.
What a story, huh?
Yes.
That's amazing. So, I mean, you basically were raised there. I mean, the people that you saw and the experiences you had must have been extraordinary.
Yeah. I had my college recommendation written by Thornton Wilder. Ella Fitzgerald would sing to me at breakfast. I was
There's your parents with her, right?
My parents, Renee and Sidney Colby. He was actually Sidney Cohen, but he wanted to be a newscaster. However, when he married my mother, he went into the hotel business, of all things.
Yeah,
and
they used to change the names back then, right? Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm very proud that I am not named Michael Cohen right now, because it was not the association my family would want. Even though that Michael Cohen also went to my high school, Woodmere Academy in Long Island.
Oh, boy.
But anyway.
That's the folks with Ella Fitzgerald right there. Great shot, huh?
Yes. She was the sweetest woman in the world.
Ella,
She, when my grandmother was in the audience, she would start singing to my grandmother. She would sing things like, "Bewitched, bothered Mrs. Bodney am I." And I had breakfast with her. She was a fan of baseball and ice cream and All My Children, the soap opera. She'd drop everything to see that. She loved show music. And she said, I just heard this score and I love this song. And at breakfast, she starts to sing to me, the name on everybody's lips is gonna be Roxy. I mean, you don't get that kind of a breakfast at Howard Johnson's.
No, you don't. You don't. No, absolutely. That's amazing. So, I mean, early on, these were inspirations and influences in your life that really, stuck and stayed with you, huh?
Absolutely. Actually, there were two playwrights who stayed at the Algonquin who I ended up working with. One was Dale Wasserman, who wrote the play version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which could have described my family too. And the other, and he ended up working with me on a musical version of Tom Sawyer. And that was called Great Big River. It missed being a hit by one word. If he called it Big River, it might have done better. And the other person was Mary Chase. And when I was a kid, she used to give me little white chocolate bunnies. I didn't even know what white chocolate was at the time. And years later, I auditioned one of my first musicals, a musical version of Ennui's Time Remembered, Léocadia in French. I auditioned it for her and Jack Cassidy. And this was a play that starred Helen Hayes. And another play that starred Helen Hayes was one of Mary Chase's other big hits, other than the Pulitzer Prize winning Harvey. And it was called Mrs. McTHING. And Mary Chase asked me to work on that show with her. And we did it at good speed. And it's a wonderful score. And I was very privileged to work with Mary Chase on that. I felt like I'd come full circle and earned the pedigree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to take people through some amazing pictures here. Tell us about this one.
Okay.
Boynton Beach.
Yes, Boynton Beach Club. That is a musical I wrote with Ned Paul Ginsberg with a libretto by Susan Seidelman, who directed and co-wrote the original film. And we have so many great people in that picture. There's Heather McRae, and there's Barbara Walsh, and Norma Ling, and Alan Campbell, and just Barbara Minkus. Did I say Barbara Minkus? Janice Lynn. Just a lot of Broadway stalwarts, and we were all. And there's Ned right next to me. I'm right next to my good friend Beth Austin, who's a leading lady of mine, and Alan Campbell is next to Beth, and there's me, and there's Ned Paul Ginsberg.
Wow. Here's another great one. Oscar Peterson Trio. Wow.
My bar mitzvah.
What a bar mitzvah to have.
Yes. At my bar mitzvah, and I hope you show some of the movies later. I had, well, a lot of, it was not at the Algonquin. It was at Middle Bay Country Club. And sneaking a peek was the future lyricist named Jack Feldman, who'd write Copacabana and Newsies. I was dancing with my girlfriend, Hara Kessenbaum, and she said, that's Jack that's Jack Feldman. And we invited Jane Wyman, but she'd never been to a bar mitzvah and didn't show at the last minute. But we did have Louis Nizer, who was a close friend of my friend, and Senator Ernest Hollings of South Carolina, who can be seen leading a hora in my bar mitzvah pictures. And it was just a great time. I had this kind of fantasy life, but there was a lot of frivolity and there was a lot of darkness too, but we can get into that later. So what's up next?
Up next, Colby's engagement.
Oh, yeah. This is I wrote a show called Charlotte Suite. my shows revolve around holidays.
Yes.
I was asked to write a Christmas show after I did the Time Remembered reading. And even though I'm a nice Jewish boy, I did it in 10 days. And it was a big success for them. And that led to my writing Charlotte's Suite. And Ludlow Ladd was born on Christmas. And in the sequel to Ludlow Ladd, Charlotte's Suite, Charlotte was born on Valentine's Day. So my engagement party to my wife was at the Algonquin Hotel on the 14th of February. And there I am on top with Andrea Lotion. And you'll see pictures of Jack Urbon and leading lady Jeannie Lehman from Mrs. McTHING. My good friend Sylvia Sims. There's me with Nina Trevins, who went on to found the Tada Theater, and I've been on that board ever since its inception. And there's my company from Tales of Tinseltown, which includes Mark Teschner, the casting director for General Hospital, and Jack Urbon wrote the theme song from General Hospital, and Alison Fraser and Jason Gra, and a lot of other great friends. And then on the other side, you'll see my Charlotte Suite family. There's Merle Louise, who's done more Sondheim shows than anyone, and my Charlotte, Maura Beckerman, and Christopher Seppi, my Ludlow Ladd, and I use the name Ludlow29 as my email, partly in tribute to the late Christopher, who was a wonderful performer. There's Polly Penn, there's Virginia Seidel, and there's Jerry Marco behind Mara, and then there's my choreographer on the side of us, Dennis Dennehy, and then my North Atlantic family. My North Atlantic was my first full-length musical, a spoof of Rodgers and Hammerstein, as it might have been written by Rodgers and Hart, and you have Lori Tan Chin, who's starring in Nora from Queens right now, and Deborah Moreno, and Jim Frederick, who was my composer on that, and Susan Bigelow, who came to New York to do North Atlantic and ended up doing South Pacific at Lincoln Center. And she was the original woman to sing, "I'm going to wash that gray right out of my hair" for Claro.
That is funny.
And that's her baby. That's her baby.
Oh, my God. Here's another great shot.
Yes. Sylvia was one of my great champions. She told me that, she wanted to play at the Algonquin for years, and it finally happened. And she called me during the week that she wasn't feeling very well. She told me about the next album she planned to do. She was an investor in Charlotte's Suite. It was one of her favorite shows. And her next album was going to be Sylvia Sets New Standards. And she was going to include Michael Colby songs. And she was worried because my grandfather was in the hospital. And it turns out the day that she passed away was the day before he passed away. Mm. She had a very bad reaction at the Algonquin. It was that very week. And I have a recording of her saying, "I'm worried about your grandfather" that week. And I would play it for you, but I don't have it here. Maybe I will share it one other day.
Absolutely.
This is Randy Levine Miller's periodic roundtables. She is the great party giver of our time. It's the counterpart to the Algonquin roundtable, and
at Sardi's, right?
Yes, at Sardi's. You see Beth Fowler, and there's Randy, and
Clea Blackhurst,
Sandy Duncan, Don Coria, Josh Ellis, Ken Waisman, Donna McKechnie, just a great bunch of people. And it's always get the best people there. And I'm very, very proud to be part of that circle.
This is great, huh?
Yes, this is one of the thrills of my life. When I wrote my first musical, with my brother Douglas. It was a musical version of The Wrong Box that we did not have the rights for, but we auditioned it anyway. And the person I once sang opposite with auditions was Nina Hirschfeld. So I sang with Nina, and then my grandparents, Ben and Mary Bodney, knew Al Hirschfeld from the Algonquin, where he did the very famous Algonquin Roundtable portrait. But then he came to see Charlotte Sweet, and I found out that he adored the show. And we closed sooner than we expected to. And he had already done a caricature of Polly Penn in the show and was supposed to do a caricature of Mara Beckerman, who got a Drama Desk nomination for the show, as did I and Gerald J. Marco. Anyway, I called. We were going to do the album. I was going to ask Al Hirschfeld if he would do a portrait. His wife, Dolly, who was a famous German actress, got on the phone, and I said, "Hello, Mrs. Hirschfeld. This is Michael Colby, and I know your daughter, Nina." And she said, "Yeah." "And you're friends with my grandparents, the Bodneys of the Algonquin?" She said, "Yeah." "And I wrote Charlotte Sweet." And she said, "You wrote Charlotte Sweet? You wrote Charlotte Sweet? Oh, get on the phone." And when I went and picked up that portrait and saw him in his barbershop seat giving this portrait to me lovingly, there's no great,
right?
I mean, sex is nothing compared to the feeling I had that moment.
And that's quite a statement.
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, Hirschfeld, Hirschfeld is a Hirschfeld. Yeah.
I was also very close to the Larry Hart family, and when Rodgers and Hart were on the road with the boys from Syracuse, and the song "Sing for Your Supper," stopped the show for the umpteenth time. Richard Rodgers said, "There's only one other feeling like this, and this one is better."
And it's not a vanilla ice cream cone.
The vanilla ice cream cone is what George Gershwin, actually he brought my Aunt Sid a chocolate cone, and she wanted vanilla, and that may have been the end of the relationship.
That was it. That was it.
It worked well for Barbara Cook, though.
Yes, it did.
This is the opening night of Charlotte Sweet at the Algonquin Hotel, in the Oak Room. You see me standing with balloons with Merle Louise. Balloons are an important element in the plot of Charlotte Sweet, who's a high-voiced soprano, the highest voice in Victorian England, who's part of the freakish circus of voices. And when she, by overworking, has a vocal breakdown, she becomes addicted to helium balloons, which restore her high notes. But above the balloons is Jerry Marco. Then next to Jerry are my grandparents with my grandmother's good friend Lee and Montevecchi. And then the next picture is the cast of Charlotte Sweet, Nick Wyman, Mara Beckerman, me, Polly Penn, and Christopher Seppi with our cake. And then you see me fighting with Vincent from the Algonquin. He was the doorman there. And you see Steve Ross playing. And you see me with the late great director, Ed Stone, who was, I think that half the credit for the show's acclaim was Edward Stone. He was brilliant. And there next to Celeste is soap opera star Peter Bergman. Ed and Peter Bergman were waiters together. And that's how Peter Bergman came and saw Charlotte Sweet several times. As did the whole cast of All My Children, because he was on that.
That's right. Okay,
this is the studio shot of the show, which is probably my favorite, and I'll tell you about that later. I'm with it's Tales of Tinseltown. I'm with Paul Katz, the composer, and Clea Blackhurst, and Allison Fraser, and Harriet Harris, and we also had people like Tony Yazbek. and Richard Kind on the album, and Christina Bianco. You see, everybody thinks that my life at the Algonquin was, all fun and games and this glamorous sort of setup. And my home life was something very different. It was very tumultuous at my home. And the fact that, there was, I don't want to go into too much details, but my grandmother, when I was 18, I called her and I said, I have to get out of here. And she opened the doors to the Algonquin. And then I struggled for years in theater, and I had a few shows that were supposed to happen. Then my father died tragically because of some of the things that were going on in our home. And then Charlotte Sweet came along, and we got great reviews, and we were supposed to be the hit of the season. But we had the same public relations man as another show that was opening at the time called Little Shop of Horrors. And they somehow stole the limelight, and we closed sooner than we expected. But I got back to work, and I wrote another show. I finished Mrs. McTHING. Mary Chase had passed away, but I wrote it with composer Jack Urbont. And there was a new theater at the Goodspeed Opera House at Chester. And we beat all kinds of competition. And Mrs. McTHING was part of the inaugural season there. And we did not have the easiest tryout. Before us, Harrigan and Hart got great reviews and was supposed to move to Broadway. And my director, the one I launched on Charlotte Sweet, Edward Stone, took over on Harrigan and Hart when Tommy Walsh dropped out. And he was preoccupied with that. And then we had some problems during the Mrs. McTHING rehearsals. But by opening night, we got 2 raves. The local critics said it was going to be the next Annie. And unfortunately, Michael Price, the night before that, well, a few nights before that, fired our leading lady. And she was a favorite of the critic for Variety. Mm-hmm. And on my 33rd birthday, he came and panned the show. Yeah. And that was the end for us. Mm. And I got into such a depression. I took some Sominex. Mm. And when I got out of interestingly enough, the doctor who took care of me, and I'm only telling this for the first time. No one has ever heard this story, but I think it's important for people dealing with depression to hear stories like this. The doctor who treated me at the hospital the night before, where was he? He was at Mrs. McTHING, which he loved. And when I got out of the hospital, I wrote a show about pursuing the arts and then having a breakdown. It was called Tales of Tinseltown. And it was based on Hollywood Babylon, which is what I read to cheer myself up as therapy. And this show was just the perfect outlet. And I've never had any psychological problems since. And anyway, that show got on and got great reviews for me too. And has this all-star recording and has my most popular song I can sing. And that was just one of the best experiences. Mm. And I hope Mrs. McTHING comes back one day too, because that was a great show with some great songs. Mm. And I continued writing. And and I also got involved with my grandparents. I'm proud to say they came from Charleston. They took over the Algonquin. And besides it being a mecca for celebrities from the film world and the theater world and the literary world, they opened their doors to minorities like African Americans before it was fashionable, and that's why Thurgood Marshall and Roy Wilkins and Ella Fitzgerald and Maya Angelou and Oscar Peterson and many others stayed there. And they also opened their doors during the Blacklist, McCarthy years, the Red Scare. And it's where people like Ring Lardner Jr. And Dalton Trumbo and Jack Guilford and a man named John Henry Falk. My grandfather let John Henry Falk stay there as his guest. He had been a well-known TV host. And unfairly, he was blacklisted and fired by CBS. And Louis Nizer took CBS to court and won a $4.5 million settlement.
Wow.
And years later, the book about this incident, Fear on Trial, was televised where else? On CBS.
On CBS.
So I like to think that I'm following in my family's traditions. I've written for a Theater by the Blind, which is now called Theater Breaking Through Barriers. And I've been part of Amos Musical Theater, which is well known for Rosetta LeNoire opening doors and leading the way to colorblind casting. Every time I do a benefit, it's for a cause like Find Children of America or the International Rescue Committee, because I just try to give back.
You do.
And I wrote a show about manic depression too, and I wrote it with Pat Hoag Simon, and it was called The Human Heart, and we won a Billy Rose Award to do that. And so I have all these carefree shows, but I also have this undertow, like Tales of Tinseltown is about two starstruck youngsters who go to Hollywood, who think they're going to make it. And the girl named Ellie Ash, like Cinderella, becomes the girl of 1,000 sounds and becomes the girl who can do anything in musical films. But she sleeps her way to get ahead, and then she has a breakdown and is in the hospital, and all kinds of scandal breaks out and hurts her reputation. And Elmo Green, the kind of Jewish Jimmy Stewart character based on me, is a screenwriter. And at the end of the show, they both had terrible experiences, and they're on top of the Hollywood Hill. It's like She Loves Me, where they both meet at the shop around the corner. But here they meet on the Hollywood sign, by the Hollywood sign, both about to jump, and they realize there's something more important, and they decide they're going to continue and find a life together and do something where they'll certainly have better luck than movies. They're going to go into the theater. So that is my O. Henry ending on Tales of Tinseltown. And I always cry and laugh when I see that scene.
Oh, yeah, I can see why. Here's another one.
Yes, this was The Algonquin Kid, a stage version of my book that was done as a benefit for Amos Musical Theater. And that's my director, Charlie Repoli, who was Tony nominated for Very Good Eddie, and the incredible Michael Levine, musical theater historian extraordinaire. And he was my musical director for The Algonquin Kid and many other events. And that's T. Oliver Reed and Natalie Douglas and John Peterson and Donna English, a stellar cast who joined me for that wonderful evening.
That is fantastic.
That's Julie me with Budd. Julie Budd, yes.
Yeah, great shot, huh?
I know. I love Julie. I love a lot of Julie's. Julie Wilson was very important in my life as well.
That's a really nice shot. Happy night, too.
Yes. And that's at the Rose, that's at the Oak Room, you know, where all the cabaret started.
Sure.
And I'm with my grandma, Mary, in the corner at the Oak Room, dressed up for the big night.
I don't know who looks happier there, you or her.
Well, she was just the most wonderful.
Big influence in your life.
Yes, she was my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And there I am at Feinstein's.
Yeah.
Yes, with Martin Vinovic, who's done shows for me. It's Tony nominee Martin Vinovic and Lori Tenchin, my lifetime friend since she did North Atlantic. And I have no idea who's in the background, probably a waiter or two.
That's it. Look at this.
Oh, yes. Well, my wife has been busy during the pandemic because she is the president of our synagogue in McTHING, Neve Shalom. And I was leading man in a couple of their shows. We did Hello Mother, Hello Father. And the irony is the person who originated the role of Elmo Green, my doppelganger in Tales of Tinseltown, was Jason Gra, who originated the role of Barry Bachman in Hello Mother, Hello Father, and got a dramatist nomination. And recently is one of the many stars in The Theater Will Survive.
That's fantastic. What a great story. There's another.
That's me, also in Hello Mother, Hello Father, when I'm getting closer to my real age. And that's the rest of the cast. Yes. So I've also had my stage experiences, but I have seen the incredible talents in the theater, and I know that lyric writing is my forte. This is Larry Hart II. Dorothy Hart, his mother, and the sister-in-law of Lorenz Hart, the widow of Teddy Hart, for whom The Boys from Syracuse was created. And I have been pals ever since Dorothy Hart took me under her wing, and I was the researcher for her wonderful biography of Lorenz Hart, Thou Swell, Thou Witty, the life and lyrics of Lorenz Hart. And sometimes I have been called to as an authority on Hart. And my Broadway debut, which few people know, was in a roundabout revival of The Boys from Syracuse. I won't comment on the show itself, but they included an interpolated song, A Lady Must Live, which had a reference to Amy McPherson. So I wrote a lyric about Medusa instead, because Amy McPherson sure wasn't around in Greek times.
No, I love this too.
Oh, this is Ken Fallon's caricature. Yeah. Okay, let me identify Christina Bianco and this
This is Tales of Tinseltown.
Yes. And here, I'll just read off the names of the people who were in it. Well, that's Jake Epstein on the bike with her. Jake Epstein was a leading man in the Carole King show.
Oh yeah.
And Tony, and there's Clea, and there's Allison Fraser, and there's Nat Chandler, who recreated his original part, Tony Toscanini, the singing plumber from Flushing, and Harriet Harris, and Richard Kind, and that's my company.
Well, you know where Renee Katz is from, right? Whenever she is watching, and she was a guest too, she said she's from the Midlands of Flushing.
Well, Renee's one. I just spent the earlier part of the evening watching her on Richard Skipper. She's always been an inspiration to me, and we've worked together. And she had her heart on her sleeve, telling about her story. So that made me brave enough to tell a little bit more about mine. Yeah,
we had her too, and it was quite an extensive situation. And she really opened up and poured her heart out. She's a beautiful soul, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, the voice of Barbara Cook and the soul of Mother Teresa, the Jewish version of Mother Teresa.
Quite a combination.
Yes. Oh, you're going to show the, okay. There are 3 different versions of the round table. There's a Hirschfeld original. I'm not sure you're able to show that, but everybody knows it. And then when a book came out on Walt Disney, Hirschfeld did this Disney-fied version of the round table with Julie Andrews and Peter Ustinov and Walt Disney and Annette Funicello and a few comic characters you might recognize.
Yes. I mean, it's beautiful work, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have it at my home, so you see my flashbulb in the background.
Which is great. That gives it the personal touch. So we know it's really yours and not in the museum.
Right.
It's in your museum.
My uncle, Andrew Ansbach, who, this is my grandfather's version of the round table. It's an illustration in my book by another artist, Porter. Yes, Dennis Porter. And among the people who used to hang out when my grandfather had his round table in the Oak Room were columnists Leonard Lyons and Joe DiMaggio and Harpo Marx and John Henry Falk. And that's Louis Nizer and my grandfather and Ella Fitzgerald. And really happy, beaming Otto Preminger. Yes, he... I had a discussion with him, I remember, in the Oak Room, and he told me why disaster movies were so successful. And he said, people like to see others suffer. Yeah.
The Poseidon Adventure and Earthquake and the Towering Inferno and all those 70s disaster movies, one after the other.
I had a meeting with him in his office, and it was very dark, and he didn't remember me. And he said, "What do you want?" And I thought in my head, I want to be alone.
Yeah.
And this is The Theater Will Survive. It's a wonderful portrait. This was the logo that we used. This is what we made into the music. The music video. Are you able to show the music video?
I think so. Yeah, we have some videos lined up here. Yeah, so we're going to show some of those. Yeah, as soon as we get through the pictures. So let's move on to this one here. I showed this a little bit earlier.
Yes, that's the logo. That's the cover on J Records of Tales of Tinseltown. And I forgot to say, Ryan Bauer Walsh was the artist of that wonderful The Theater Will Survive mural.
Yeah, Bernadette says, appropriate for 2020, The Theater Will Survive, too.
Yes, when I did that recording, just people that we had four Tony winners and countless Drama Desk nominees. We had Judy Kay, Anita Gillette, Paulo Schott, Chuck Cooper, Faith Prince, Anita Gillette, just Christian Andreas.
Yeah.
I just called them and they wanted to be part of something that was rooting for the Actors Fund and our future, because the theater has gone through so many centuries of ups and downs, and it will be back. We just have to be patient.
Absolutely right. There's some rehearsals, too.
Yes, this is in the famous Stratford suite of the Algonquin Hotel. It used to be a warehouse, and my grandparents converted it into my rehearsal space. I used it for North Atlantic and Charlotte Suite, and these are rehearsals of Tales of Tinseltown. And you'll see on the top, Allison Fraser and Bob Arnold and Jason Gra and Nat Chandler and the wonderful late Nora May Ling and Stuart Oken, an incredible designer. That's his design below him. And that's Greg Mowry at the piano. He went on to be the lead in Starlight Express, plus Nora May Ling and Jason Gra. I really got good people.
Yeah.
These were showcases where we worked for very little. This is the three Colbys. There are three Colbys, actually. That's my brother David in my lap, and my brother Douglas over my head. And it's actually my aunt, Barbara Anspach, on the side. She's who married, she was my mother's sister. She married Andrew Anspach, who, like my father, became a manager at the hotel. And he and a man named John Smith used to go and take me to cabarets. We saw Mabel Mercer, and we saw Ann Hampton Calloway, and we saw Bricktop, and my uncle and Don were talking about reopening the Oak Room for Mabel Mercer, but she didn't end up doing it. It opened with somebody else.
When you can't think of the name, you just say somebody else.
No. But anyway, I'm having these mental blocks, and I could kill myself. It's the Prince of Cabaret, who's so good to me. And I mentioned him before.
Cabaret fans, speak up if you know who it is. Those of you who are super cabaret fans. Is it Ralph, get it right? Donald Smith?
It's Steve Ross. Steve, okay. He'll never forgive me. Steve Ross. Yes, of course. Steve Ross, who said, when I made the audio version of the Algonquin Kid.
Maureen helped you out too.
Yes.
Maureen Taylor, Steve Ross.
Listen, I'm just very, all the stress of being on tonight.
I'm live.
I get these mental hiccups.
Eileen helped you too, Steve Ross.
Yes.
They're coming to the rescue.
Oh God, I hope that's edited out. Steve Ross has been so
and
good.
We're live.
He played at my opening night. He played at my mother's funeral. Steve Ross is part of our family.
So many names tonight that it's so easy to not have that one right there.
And anyway,
as long as you know your name.
But I did the narration for my audio version of the Algonquin Kid, and Steve Ross said,
"Show that on the screen again so everybody can see it."
Steve Ross said that he would have me in his bedroom every night before he went to sleep. He would play that. That's why I was in his bedroom, of course. Anyway, enough said.
That is funny. That is funny.
So, Jim, yes. So what else can I tell you? I have just
showed that one earlier. And then
yes, Maureen Taylor, Cosmic Connections, the lyrics of Michael Colby. She did it at Don't Tell Mamas, and she won all kinds of raves, and I can't wait to get into a studio. The musical director was Frank Algano, and the musical director was Matt Castle, the director Frank Algano, and we just had a wonderful time. And as I said, Maureen was nominated for a MAC award. I wish she'd won. She certainly was deserving of special recognition for that performance. And she has a place in my heart forever for doing that for me.
Ned Ginsburg says, congratulations, Michael.
Okay, Ned is one of my collaborators. He was the composer of They Chose Me, the show I wrote for Tada, which has had numerous regional productions, and Kurt Vonnegut was a fan of that show. It was about adoption as seen through the eyes of children. And it just has always, one of my greatest experiences was going to the premiere in Roanoke, Virginia of They Chose Me. It was National Adoption Month, and the theater was packed with adoptive families and adopted kids. And there was a teenage girl in front of me who was squirming when she walked in. And when the show was over, her parents came up to me and they said, you know, our daughter was never really comfortable with the fact that she was adopted. She always just felt that made her that made her an outsider, and they chose me. Just proves the opposite. Anyway, the parents said when she saw the show, she said how much she loved them and how proud she was to be their child, and that's why I write theater.
Stephen Silverstein, much congratulations, Mike.
Yes, I wrote The Human Heart and many songs with Stephen Silverstein.
Very nice. Very
we did a song for Tada as well, called Civility, that the kids from Tada recorded, that you can see on YouTube. And it's there in my Dropbox file, but there's so much I left. I'm not sure what you're going to end up with.
3, 2, 1, go.
Lift up others when they're down. Help those sinking not to drown. So be brave, be smart, and do your part with, at heart, civility. Frown when leaders rant and rage. See the sun through each dark gate. Then be kind and true. Don't cave, not you. Triumph through civility. What our country was founded for. Home of freedom, not hated for. Better times we can still restore. So that everyone in our great land can be secure and free and equal.
What are we to believe in if not what we've learned through teachers, preachers, and family?
The Bible says be kind and compassionate to one another.
Lady Liberty echoes, give me your child or poor. History reveals past mistakes and signals. Never forget. Where are those beliefs today? Life is not all black and white. Every color shines a light. And the blend is such a brilliant sight. Full of possibility. Rock the wall, unlock the cage. Write our future page by page. Don't let past dreams die. We'll learn them by ability. Humility. Civility.
Very nice. Very nice. Everybody loving it. Like lots of hearts, great song, voices, harmonies. Willie and Holland loving it. Claps and Mary Bishop and Marcia. Excellent and uplifting. Bravo. Claps from Ralph and more from Marcia. Well, everybody's loving it.
I'm verklempt. What else can I say? And you can see it on YouTube as well.
That's terrific. That's terrific. We have some
with the lyrics.
With the lyrics too. Of course, this one you mentioned earlier.
Dangerous. Yes. A thriller in a Hitchcock fashion about doings on with where you don't. Well, it's a swing music that will have you jumping out of your seats. It's a plot where you don't know who the killer is, and there are all kinds of surprises and guessing games. And it's like a gangster movie, and it's like an espionage movie. And we've done some very well received readings.
Yes, one at 54 Below that I was at.
Yes,
which was terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Oh, look at this. Leonard Cohen.
I got a fan letter from Leonard Cohen. He loved Charlotte's Suite. To have people like Mary Chase and Leonard Cohen and Kurt Vonnegut, I humbly say I'm in awe of these people, and just to have their respect is one of the great rewards of doing what I do.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a real keeper. And it looks like, you've kept that well pressed since 1982.
Who wouldn't?
That's right.
And my grandfather, besides being the owner of the Algonquin, he used to promote a lot of sports figures.
Mhm.
And here he was promoting Jack Dempsey.
Oh, yeah.
And that's my mother looking like one of the Elaine sisters sitting on his lap. And there's her fiance, Sidney Cohen Colby. And my grandmother's on the far right. And I also have a picture somewhere of my father supposedly boxing with Marcel Cerdan, the famous lover of Piaf. So that's who my family knew. I mean, I'm like Zelig. Oh, that's my father sparring with Marcel Cerdan. But I'm like Zelig or some person who's always on the outside looking in, like Forrest Gump.
Right.
And sometimes now I am in the inner circle too, especially if it's Randy's round table circle.
Here's another nice inner circle.
Yes. These are some of my, Sandy Durrell is one of my great champions. She is the publisher of Theater Pizzazz. She first published the Algonquin Kid as a series. She did a big launch for The Theater Will Survive. And there is Julie Wilson, who has sang my songs. She was going to fly in from her high school reunion in Omaha, Nebraska. I forget which, but then my grandmother when my grandfather died, but she sang a song I wrote, and a memorial for my grandparents. And that's, I'm sure you know Marianne Lapinto.
Oh, sure.
And Seth Weinstein, who is a frequent musical director for Maureen Taylor. And I'm the guy in the middle of all that, yes. And it's the Algonquin. No, maybe it's not the Algonquin. I think that's probably the Players Club.
In the matter, you're in the middle of all that levity. What a fabulous picture. Ralph says the late Julie Wilson, such a sweet, loving woman as well. We do have a video here as well that we're going to show. Now, this one, you can preface it too if you'd like. Gotta Get Her Back.
Oh, okay. This is Slay It with Music. And we did an all-star benefit at the Green Room on 42nd Street. And we had Tom Wopat, and we had Sharon McKnight and Marion Tatum and Eddie Corbett. And you also see these up-and-coming wonderful performers, Carolyn Concession, I hope I pronounce it right, and Alex Getlin, who was also, when she was just 13, in the original production of They Chose Me. And she's like a protege of Michael Feinstein, and she's incredible. She made her debut in New York Theater. Their tribute to Murray Yeston. So here we go.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and...
Oh, one second. It's about what I call Grand Dame Guignol, those horror movies of the 60s where people like Betty Davis and Joan Crawford made comebacks. And one of the characters is a sister who wants to make her comeback, and her soap opera star is the other sister. And her ex-husband, Chad, is an ex-beach movie star. And he's really had a hard time. And he thinks if he wins Marcy Beaumont back, he'll have a new lease on life.
And what did ever happen to Baby Jane? Here we go.
Hey, you, aren't you Chad Walker, Marcy Beaumont's ex-husband and star of early beach movies like Loco in Acapulco and Dangerous Bikini?
Yeah, baby, that's me.
I recognized your famous magenta
Well,
eye.
that's cool, baby.
Your fly is open.
Now, who was that 80-year-old woman in the Porsche who left you off?
That lady who was gumming you.
She's an old friend.
Say, Chad, why haven't you made any films lately?
What, you miss me?
No, maybe you can't get a job without Marcy's help.
That is not true. I just refuse to take my clothes off.
I think that's smart.
Very.
Ciao,
Bye.
baby. Bye-bye. This is no life for a grown man. Fast flings with great-grandmothers. My last buck spent on Band of Soleil. No one taking me serious. Still, there was someone once who treated me like more than just a plaything. Oh, Marcy, I miss you so bad. No movies will cast me. They know I can't act. My best years are past me. My caps are all cracked. My Marcy had faults, but she had money I lacked. Ooh, I gotta get her back. I can't afford drinking. Can't afford drugs. My assets keep shrinking. I've gone through 3 rugs before I'm no longer that good in the sack. But gotta get my Marcy back. Crazy about her. Yeah, I lost a lot. Living without her can cost a lot. She gave me directions on getting ahead. We made great connections, not just in bed. But now since I left her, the hard times attack. Ooh, I gotta get her back. That babe's what I need, kinda slow, just my speed. Her beauty's a gift since she got her last lift. She wasn't too tough, twice a night was enough. Ooh, I gotta get her. How I gotta get her now. Gonna get her back. Back. Yeah, I'm gonna get her back.
We had such fun.
That was terrific.
Yes. This backdrop was from the original production of Slate with Music. A screen that the character Enid Boku.
Wow, that's amazing. That is cool. We've got it. Yeah.
Right here.
Oh,
I've got a table that was originally part of a cocktail table at the Algonquin Hotel. And right above me, here's the Hirschfeld again. Anyway, so I've got my wonderful souvenirs.
You sure do. Surrounded by it all. Lots of years of levity there. We've got another video here. This is a home. Kids from Tata, like you said. This is a different one. You see it on the screen?
Yes, this is from They Chose Me, the musical about adoption. Music by Ned Paul Ginsberg.
All right, let's watch that and everybody enjoy.
A foster child imagines what it would be like to find a lifelong.
She's queuing up.
If you have too much problems with this.
It's a different kind of, it's the movie file, so they get a little tricky.
A foster child imagines what it would be like to find a lifelong family. Now I present Tada members Nisha Borelli, Manuel Hodgson, Maya Rosado, and soloist Cosmo Bays.
It won't matter where I came from. He's there for me, rain or shine. Once I'm through the door, there's comfort and more. A home that's really mine. Where my family calls my name from. The morning dawn through the day. One big welcome mat to greet me is at. A home that's mine to stay. A mother, a Not lonely and only sweet dreams when I'm asleep. How I've envied kids who got one that plays warm and safe and fine. Apartment or shack, just don't take it back. That's really mine.
Oh, Jimmy, how did things turn out for you?
Well, it took a while. Finally, my social worker did find me a home with a cousin of hers.
Has it been happily ever after?
No, but it's not bad either. My parents are super to me. The Incredibles and the Flintstones. The great thing about it is for keeps. I've got what I want. Father, a room that's mine to keep. Not only sweet dreams when I'm asleep. There's no home that's perfect, not one. I'd rate this one a 9. No more costume rope is all I could hope. That's
That was wonderful. That was fantastic. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Tada is a theater it won the Drama Desk Award. It was founded by Nina Trevins, and such people as Jordan Peele, Kerry Washington, got their starts there. They learned their craft at Tada. And I've been on the advisory board since their inception. And it's a privilege and an honor to be part of this group. And Nina, I said they got a special Drama Desk Award, and it may have in part been because of they chose me, but it was one of the shows that people saw that that led to that recommendation.
That is wonderful. I mean, and just to hear the kids, the comments have been terrific. They're loving the kids.
Yeah. Well, when I went to rehearsal for that, the African-American kid, even though he didn't have many solos, he had memorized everything and he was mouthing along to every lyric. And I was just so touched. We're showing a lot of Ned Paul Ginsberg stuff here. This is from Boynton Beach Club. Jeff Keller and Steve Berger are performing, and it's called Cook Italian. We had a very successful production at Surflight last summer with people like Andrea McArdle. And anyway, so
yeah,
play on. It's self-explanatory.
All right. We shall play on, of course.
It's about love when you're past 60.
And of course, Andrea McArdle, the original Annie.
As a grandmother now, you want to cry?
Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Now imagine you're in a sunny Florida kitchen where Stephen is instructing Jeff on how to dazzle a date with hot cuisine.
I'm never going to get the hang of it. Come on. You invited Sandy over for dinner. Don't you want to impress her?
Yeah, sure, but this is...
Loosen up. We're having some fun here. Come on. Let me see that smile. That's the spirit. All right, now, listen to the expert. A man who is skillful at the skillet can take a woman's life and fill it. All right, Goodman, take note. Our first dish is veal scallopini a la Finelli. To start, you tenderize the meat. The meat has to be down hard and beats. In flour, it's rolled nice and neat. Hey, bello, when you cook Italian, add lots of garlic to the streets. This is meat. Salt and onions, nice and sweet. Sweet chili peppers and vino. Repeat that smell. Oh, that's a real Italian. Butter, oil, cheese, and lemon. Mushroom tenders and mix all that in. Make it yourself and you'll make up more than you would serving takeout. Aroma sets you free with my Romano recipe. Maybe the envy of Chef Boyardee. That's me, good fellow, che bello, not yellow, good Italian and the sea. That's right. Now we got the veal going. We move on to the pasta. I guess I can manage spaghetti. Hey, Romeo, you can do better than that. When picking up pasta, I stop at spaghetti, the spaghetti and trendy linguini, go Betty, rotelli, rotino, fresh fettuccine, go belly, or try capellini. A nice beady zini, a creamy go belly, robust rigatoni, or just from the chili, pasta to fully, or else macaroni, not anything frozen again, like you told me. You got that? I think so. Repeat after me. When picking up pasta, I stop at spaghetti. When picking up pasta, I stop at spaghetti, the belly, and trendy, go belly, rotelli, rotini, or fettuccine, or belly, or try capellini. A nice beady zini, a creamy capelli, robust rigatoni, or macaroni, not anything fully, or else macaroni. You think I can follow? That's Coco Maloney. Come on, you're doing great. Oxygen! Now steady. It's not enough to have the right technique. You need the right attitude. There's me. Like the ablest of men. A man like you sauteed since you were 10. Stand, serve beef to Sophia Loren. When they mellow, when you cook Italian. And on the side, zucchini. Sure beats a bun and a weenie. Cook like a girl's on the tree. Sandy will be yelling grazie. 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 Ah, grazie. Antonio, you got it. I'll cook Italian and I'll feel. You'll feel like Casanova fixing meal. For real, with burgers and a housekeeping shield. Good deal, said pesto. The besto. And pesto. Cook Italian like a me. Like a me. But see.
So much talent in New York.
I tell you, there really is, huh? That was fantastic. A great night had by all there, huh?
Yeah.
That was amazing. You must love all of this, huh? This ride.
Remember what Richard Rodgers said about sing for your supper.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful being in the middle. I've seen it from the audience, and it's even better when it's your words and those talented people delivering them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here's some more we're setting up here. This is another one we're excited to share with our audience around the world. So many wonderful comments, folks watching all over the world.
I got a million of them. Some of them are on YouTube too. You just look up Michael Colby. This is from Tales of Tinseltown. And this is Jeff Harner singing a song about traveling.
About traveling. All right, we're going to check that out right now. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Jim Masters. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live, entertainment lifestyle talk show series every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Michael Colby, our very special guest, and here is more fabulous entertainment and music just for you. This is Jeff Harner. Here we go.
Paul Katz.
I like to go where the sights all thrill, 'cause you get nowhere by standing still. With wine and women to chase and keep me hopping, oh, I'm all over the place. I rush to China to fondle fans, then Carolina to pick pecans, then off to Rome to say grace and do some shopping. Oh, I'm all over the place. I climb a Scottish Highland, invade a Virgin Island, peruse through Peru. In Trinidad I trifle, in France I get an eyeball, then win Waterloo. In Transylvania the vamps go bats, rooms in Romania post welcome mats. When I'm in town to touch base, wait till I drop it. Oh, I'm all over the place. I'm like a one-man Princeton regatta. Just cue my oar and I'm ready to stroke. The cuties tease me in Waikiki. The harems please me in Araby. I fly the globe like an ace and don't be profit. Oh, I'm all over the place. I romp to Stockholm, too nice in Nice. I rarely dock home, a god in Greece. And thrice I dally in Thrace, one country swapping. Oh, I'm all over the place. I'm always beginning Grand Rapids and Great Britain, bone fish up in Maine. I horse around in Philly, then all the babes in Chile. Ole, through Spain. In far Morocco, I love the view, and things of Sacco in Timbuktu. When there's adventure, I race to book my passport and pack my toothbrush in case to sell my passport. It's hard to slow down my pace, no way to stop me. I race through time, through space, all over the place, all over the place.
Cousin Owen, Greg Kenna was the musical director. He also played Cook Italian. It was from a fundraiser I did called Quel Fromage 2, based on Colby cheese.
Wow. But of course, that's fantastic. We've got another one coming in here too to entertain the troops watching all around the world, our lovedies, as we call them, our viewers on the Jim Master Show Live. Here comes another one.
Thank you for. Oh, this is Lori Tanchin.
And tell us about this one.
This is a song that was done in They Chose Me. It was sung by a little girl, but Lori just did this beautiful performance for the Quel Fromage 2. I love that woman. She's just the most amazing person.
All right. Let's get a sample for those of you who may be watching and learning for the very first time. Here we go.
Presenting Lori Tanchin.
My name is Mailing Moskowitz, confusing some at school. It's not on every occasion you meet a Jewish Asian. Some people guess I'm adopted when I'm praying at my shul. Still, Rabbi Rosen loves me and always mazel tovs me. Mazel tov, maybe. Of course, my parents teach me about my Chinese heritage too. Ming art, Confucius, Beijing opera. In fact, we have Chinese food every Sunday. My parents claim they did that even before they adopted me. Bible serves me rhubarb, along with oolong tea. A Shayna China Mago is what she nicknamed me. I have to say that wonton soup appears like crab to me until I take my fork out and poke all of the pork out. We just found a kosher place, Shanghai. Our family gathers Friday night. We light the candles bright. Two cultures in one spot. Praise God for all we've got. And share our Moskowitz Shabbat. All grateful for how we've joined as a family. My name is Mei-Ling Moskowitz. My roots rich as can be. King David to Kung Fu. I worship Lucille. So proud to be Chinese Jew. That's me.
In case it wasn't clear, her name is Mei-Ling Moskowitz.
I know. With the emphasis on the Mei-Ling, right? That is funny. She's terrifically talented, huh?
She was in North Atlantic, my first full-scale show.
That is amazing. Beautiful. And it's really nice to share these with our audience, too. I mean, the comments that are coming in are sensational, to say the least. Here's another one. Now, this one, ooh, Algonquin Kid home movies.
Oh,
all right.
Can I speak over them? Can you hear me?
I don't think it lets you do that. So you'd have to preface it. Yeah, it doesn't let you voice it over, because what it does is when we show the video, it cuts the mics out.
Okay. This is a composite of home movies of my family, the Bodneys, back in Charleston, with their young daughters, Renee Mae and Barbara Ann. Then we fast forward to when they moved to the Algonquin Hotel. We see my grandparents converted the whole half of the 10th floor into their own home. So you'll see pictures of them and their daughters and their grandsons, Douglas and Michael Colby. And then you'll see the wedding of Barbara and Andrew Ansbach, which was the beginning of the Oak Room, because the merger of Barbara and Andrew is what led to his opening the Oak Room. And they had wonderful guests like Enid Markey, who was the first Jane in Tarzan movies, and she had a TV program called Bringing Up Buddy, and she lived at the Algonquin. And Ted Lewis was the first person my grandparents told outside of the family that I was born. And Ted Lewis and his wife Ada used to always send me birthday presents from Aunt Ted, from Aunt Ada and Uncle Ted. And then there's Harry Hirschfeld, who was a comedian. Can you top this? I just, so much I could tell you about all the people. And then we go to my bar mitzvah with Oscar Peterson playing and Ernest Hollings leading the chorah. So have patience.
All of that and more tonight. On the
I hope to narrate it, but it's fun.
Yeah, let's take a look at that right now. You might actually, if we leave you up and I up, the screen will be smaller, but you can narrate it if we leave the screen that size.
Well, that's Barbara and Renee Mae. Renee Mae, the older one. They moved to New York, and that's the marquee of the Algonquin Hotel as it was in the 50s. And this is the wedding in the Bodney apartment at the Algonquin. First, this was their living room with pictures of the family, the Bodneys and their daughters. And then I have stories to tell. If I had, my family may have been inspirations for both the Beverly Hillbillies in Petticoat Junction, but that's in the book. That was me just now. This is the wedding of Barbara and Andrew. That's my grandfather leading Barbara. When they needed a celebrity, she used to pose in the lobby as Teresa Wright. She looked like Teresa Wright. And my mother's on the left in royal gold or yellow, canary yellow. And that's the rabbi. And they just broke the glass. And this is the reception in the Oak Room. There's Enid Markey. She also was in Mrs. McTHING, the original. Conrad Berkovici, who wrote The Great Dictator, and The Nisers, Mildred and Harry Hirschfeld. Can you top this? And my grandfather in the background, they're toasting. That's the newlyweds at their cake. And that's Ted Lewis and Ada toasting again. Is everybody happy? You can almost hear him. That's Grandpa Ben, and guess who? And my brother Douglas is going to make an appearance with Aunt Betty in a minute.
The quality of the film footage is terrific. Did you have it restored?
Yes, I did recently.
Yeah, they did a nice job.
Grandpa's dancing with Grandma, and he's going to change partners in a minute and dance with Barbara, taking him away from Andrew, but Andrew will go to work for Ben soon after. That's Aunt Sid, Irving Caesar, who wrote Swanee and No Nanette, and Aunt Sid, who was courted by George Gershwin. She was like a second mother to my brother and me. This is my bar mitzvah in Middle Bay. And there's the cake. We're getting a lot of cake. My brother Douglas, my mother and father, and the Oscar Peterson trio. I haven't changed that much. I look pretty much the same through all the years.
I would say, yes.
Look at those hands. This is priceless. That's Mildred Nizer. And that's Uncle Leon, Eileen's, and maybe that's Annie. So Eileen Sirota could get a big kick out of this. And this is the end with my grandparents. Thank you for showing that. No one has seen these pictures.
Amazing, huh? Lots of memories there. Lots of love there. How does it, when you see it again, how does it make you feel?
Emotional.
Sure.
And joyful at the same time.
Right. Not everybody, I've been lucky, blessed with loving family like that too. And not everybody has that. So when we look back at the films and the videos and the photos, it brings back some wonderful memories. And it reminds us of how blessed we have been and we are, right?
I know. I mean, even the difficulties at home, I think, were behind what creativity I have. I have my mother was bipolar, and I have a schizophrenic character in almost all my musicals.
So that's that answers a lot of questions, I guess.
And that's why Mrs. McTHING was so important to me, because it's about the different sides of motherhood, how a mother can be loving and frightening at the same time. And I looked at the script.
Yeah.
I don't know how loving she was. My mother had a genuinely loving side too.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another one we're setting. What do you think about the Joan Crawford story? Do you think
it makes me nostalgic? What can I say? We didn't have wire hangers, though.
Do you think she was a tough cookie, probably? And those days.
There's certainly a difference of opinion. Yeah. But I remember seeing her with Jerry Lewis on the telethon.
Oh, when she brought Christina.
Yes.
Yes.
No. When they were coming up with what they had collected for muscular dystrophy. And one girl came and said, we had a fair on our block and we raised $500. And she said, thank you, my child. And then another person said, we've been saving for a half a year and we have $1,000. Thank you, my child. Oh, Miss Crawford, the next person. Oh, Miss Crawford, I've been your biggest fan since I can't say when. And I am so beyond thrilled to see you. And I have $1 to donate. And she said, bless you, my child.
Yeah.
I saw that. I will never forget.
There's a clip on YouTube where Jerry is on and brings in Joan, and Joan does a reading in reference to a child who has muscular dystrophy. And then he calls on Christina, and he first said, "Where's the little girl?" And she goes, "Oh, they told you she's here." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Bring her on." She goes, "Christina Crawford," and then she came right out. It's on YouTube. It's really interesting. Here's Billy Stritch.
Yeah, this is, I would have called Billy for permission. I wasn't sure you're going to use this, but it's Kenny Faulkner's music.
I'm sure Billy.
Kenny Alexander Faulkner.
He was a guest on our show too. He's a good friend. I'm sure he's fine.
Special material I wrote for Sandy Durrell.
As long as it's not copyrighted, we are good.
No, it's not.
That's always
it is about a famous figure, though.
Very nice. All right, let's check it out. Tonight it's been all famous figures.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight to, well, the number I'm going to do, I've never done it before, but it expresses a feeling that I've had for such a long time, and it was just a coincidence that MICHAEL Colby and Kenneth Faulkner Alexander wrote a song to express how I've been feeling actually for about 3 years at least. And I'm at a point now in my life where I feel that I could share this with people. I was embarrassed about it for a while, but I'd like to share it with you, and because this feels like such a warm crowd, and you won't make fun of me. So, and since it is Valentine's Day Cabaret, this is a song about hopefully not unrequited love. I have the hots for a lady with lots of balls. Each afternoon I turn on and swoon at her calls. I know she's probably older and married to some other sort. Yet watching her I grow bolder and tempted to try in court. I am guilty of loving Judge Judy. It's a case I would win if she cared. I'd take 20 to life with Judge Judy, though I plead my own judgment's impaired. When she picks up that gavel to hammer in her slinky back black robe of a dress, I would go to the moon or the slammer for such Judge Judy, I confess. She's as witty as wise and as sharp as a saw. When she rules over guys, when she lays down the law, it's an honor adoring Judge Judy. She's more queenly than Dame Judi Dench. Nothing cheers me whenever I'm moody like the skills she displays on the bench. Since beholding her, I haven't been free. She has locked up my heart for all time. She's so great, she outrates Oprah Winfrey. I love Judy, what's the crime? Glad to show her my briefs while the bailiff restrains. I'll respect her beliefs, though it means ball and chains. People say I have a mother fixation, mama, that my statements are false and askew. But for Judge Judy's adjudication, on a Bible I'll swear to be true. Got no wooden heart like Howdy Doody. I'm a man who wants just happiness. With that neat, undefeatable Shruti, wish she'd try my appeal as a nudie. I surrender myself to Judge Judy. If she'll love me, I confess. So sue me. Happy Valentine's Day. If anybody knows her.
I met her a couple of times, actually. One of the folks I've worked with for 16 years, hosting a television news magazine show and really daily radio shows with, is Doug Llewellyn, who hosts the People's Court. And he was one of the folks that convinced Judy to actually do that series that she's done, $300 million later.
For everybody's great entertainment. And
do I have stupid on my head? I know, absolutely. We have more, but wait, folks, there's more. We've got another great one here. Now, this one, let's take a look. This is from Dangerous.
Good.
More Than Meets the Eye.
Okay, Christopher Hankey. He plays an MC in Cairo, a very mysterious man who also will be dressed as a female impersonator.
All right. You got that, folks? There will be a quiz after.
Please may I have your attention, mates, as there's plenty here to see. My shows always show more dimension, mates, and that's also true of me. Everyone has extra components to reveal, and we've layers below left to peel. Bold and buxom as I look, a cover ain't the whole damn book. At times I'm dainty and refined. Out of mud a flower blooms, with little dots become bazooms. You find surprise of every kind. La 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 la. Even snails make tasty meals, and tiny men can be big deals. What counts are skills we all apply. Take it from that intellectual Gypsy Rose Lee. There's more to us than meets the eye. There's more to us than meets the eye. Beneath the surface, secrets lie that dazzle and electrify. You never know what you may spy. There's a diva at the Met who may be dumb and slutty, yet sounds like an angel when she sings. Ugly frogs, if they persist, can turn to princes once they kiss, and spinsters can have torrid flings. Gangsters may be murdered, but at home be loving family men. Like so ironic you could die. Who'd have thought that I have got a physics degree? There's more to us than meets the eye. There's more to us than meets the eye. To be uncovered if you try. Within the clue you magnify. You never know what you may spy. There's someone you meet who seems all that you crave. The sweat off your feet would even be their slave. Oh, based on the way you see 'em behave. But nothing is that certain by and by. A he can be a she, and a she can be a he. There's more to us than meets the eye. Beneath the surface, secrets lie that dazzle and electrify. You
few credits. First, music, John C. Introcaso, Dennis Jones staging, and musical director and orchestrated the fantastic Phil Reno, who also accompanied Tom Wopat earlier.
And of course, Tom Wopat, people remember on television from Dukes of Hazzard. He was with, I think his...
John Schneider.
John Schneider, that's right, who also had a singing musical career as well. We've got another one. This is also from Dangerous. Hope you're enjoying this great entertainment, everybody, live here on the show.
Her boyfriend is a murderous character named Jake, and she doesn't know what's going on, what's really happening. There have been murders, and she's praying that he's not behind them and thinking of breaking up with him.
All right, let's find out if she does.
He makes me sizzle, then turns me ashen. He gives me passion, then gives me grief. Want to embrace him, then want to shove him. The way I love him defies belief. I've good years in front of me, big plans I can make. Get past what he's done to me. Life's not all a Jake. He's my desire. He's my disaster. My head swings faster than I keep score. I want to leave him. I want to kill him. And yet it's still him that I adore. I long for a crystal ring and vows he won't break. Not hearing a pistol ring, then think it's Jake. He says believe him, and so I trust him, till coppers bust him, it's time to wake. Tonight he better be frank and honest, or the doggonest retreat I'll make. That's my ultimatum. You love him or hate him. As I'm finding steadily, romance can be deadly. Better that I cut out, not shut out or shut out. Life ain't all a
I don't know where these ideas come from.
Yeah.
It makes me spiritual because I don't know. Yeah, the ideas just come to me, and I see all these talented people who have these beautiful voices, and lyrics come to me like that.
Well, that's what it is. What are some other things that inspire you to create?
Well, Sammy Kahn used to say it's the phone call. Richard Rogers said it's the check. Me, it's a production.
A production, that's right. Here's somebody else who was a guest on our show. Darius is here.
Oh, this is from Delphi or Bust, which was done at Amos. The music is by Gerald J. Marco, who wrote Charlotte's Suite. It takes place in ancient Greece, and the hero is a romantic cyclops who's a little different than the other characters. And it's kind of an allegory for reaching out to people who are a little different.
All right.
And the cyclops double entendres are all intentional.
Beautiful, beautiful message it has.
Though we come from different faces, and you think we're not well suited. Does it matter what the case is, or the way we're constituted? My sight's set on you, and that's no try. Even if I'm not your type, you are someone with a good heart that can break, yet you ignore it. It's a poor, misunderstood heart with nobody caring for it. Let me volunteer, the time is right. Even if I'm not your type, some think that I'm bizarre, some mock your name. Most people don't comprehend us, but different as we are, we're much the same. Together we'd be tremendous. So I may not look romantic, but I feel the sparks between us, and my vision is gigantic. It could really work, I mean us, with a future that you won't regret. Even if I'm not your type as yet, I see things one way and you probe deep. We differ on very few points, and in the everyday beliefs we keep, we couldn't have closer viewpoints. I'm a very caring creature, and you give me quite a tingle. For like my most famous feature, it's not easy being single. You're the apple of my eye, I vow. Don't feel on the spot, I'd love you a lot. Even if I'm not your type, till now.
Am I on?
You're on.
Darius is the voice of the singer on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
That's right.
And the way it was staged, the character had one eye in the middle of his forehead. So the jokes were a little more obvious.
Yeah. Now here's another one. This is Maureen Taylor.
Yes.
Tell us about this one.
It was written with Peter Milrose, and it's just a specialty number, and Maureen does it beautifully.
All right, let's take a look at that right now. Here it comes. Where can I go?
I woke up at sunup and beamed like the sun. I wanted to run up and kiss everyone. The world looked so appetizing. Who knew I'd be toast after rising? Well, when I was 20, I actually went to see a psychic. And she said to me, honey, your life's really not going to start until you're in your 40s. Today was a chain of bad choices. A mess of mistakes and mishaps. My stocks went bad. My broker went mad. Where can I go to collapse? I still can hear furious voices. I even offended my shrink. Special skills. My mail brought bills that gave me the chills. Where can I go for a drink tequila? My ears are buzzing, my eyeballs tear, my head is fuzzy. But one thing's clear, more tequila. The day started out like Black Friday. I seem so calamity prone, but now there's a bright spot in my day. Through all of the anguish I've known, there's no more gloom since you're in the room. Where can we go alone? Oh my God, thank you so much for helping me. You just made my day. No, really, I am so grateful and so appreciative. Oh, really? I would love to. Where did you say you were from? Oh, you're Italian. As if a black cat had run by me, I wore my new shoes in the rain. My car got scratched. My handbag got snatched. Where can I go to complain? My lunch turned out rancid and slimy. I stepped in some gum on the stairs. My wristwatch stopped. My string of beads popped. Where can I go for repairs? Through my displeasure, somehow I knew I'd find a treasure. I found you. Today was like my Armageddon. So hopeless I wanted to shout. Then somebody sweep put their head in and brought such a great turnabout. Yes, you came along and changed my whole song. Where can we go? Let's find out. Wait, come back.
Can't wait to get into a studio and do all the show.
I would imagine you're missing that, huh? Yeah. These opportunities.
But
everybody I talk to is missing all of it, everything right now. Yeah. I just heard, and this shows you how things are going. I just, during the conversation, during our interview, I got a note from somebody who's in Ireland, and to show you how things are progressing around our world. As of 9 p.m. this evening, Irish time, the government in Ireland has brought into effect strict new rules from tomorrow evening on, level 5, which is the toughest level of Irish pandemic rules. As of tomorrow, folks who are in Ireland are not allowed to meet with anyone outside of their own household, visit another household or garden, travel outside of their own country. In fact, they are only allowed to go within a 5-kilometer radius of their house, or there will be significant penalties.
Scary.
So
we have to discipline ourselves for the future.
Oh, I mean, you got to wear the masks. You got to social distance.
Oh, I've got masks. I've got more masks than the Phantom of the Opera.
And that episode of The Twilight Zone too, with the masks.
Oh, that was Donna Douglas of the Beverly Hillbillies, our friend. She came to our house. So did Jay North. Dennis
the Menace.
Yeah, we had from the Algonquin. We'd have these surprise visitors like Jay North when he was a kid and doing the TV show. He was staying at the Algonquin. He came and we had a play. I had a play date with Dennis the Menace. I could see that he had dark roots. And and Bess Meyerson showed up one day.
Oh, Bess Meyerson, yeah.
There she is. Yeah,
that's right.
She was on her way to a bar mitzvah, and they stopped off. It was a Nizer. She was a friend of the Nizers.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think at one time she was a consumer reporter on Channel 2 in New York, WCBS.
Politician, yes.
Politician. Yeah, she really did it
Game
all.
show.
Now, who is this?
Oh, okay.
One of the Colby brothers.
This is really, this is in my book. It's I wrote the show with Dale Wasserman based on Mark Twain, and then I tell the story of why this song turned out to be so important in my life during the sequence. I don't want to spoil it.
No, we'll let them enjoy it. All right, here we go. Here's more coming up with Michael Colby himself.
Jacker Bont is the composer. Right.
Better late than never.
My song is short, so here's my searching after story. When I was a 34-year-old bachelor a long while ago, I decided, well, I had this vision, like I was starring in a production of Company. And there was a birthday cake, and there were friends in the dark, and people were singing, Michael, baby, Michael, booby, Michael. And so the next day I joined a dating service. And there was someone named Andrea Lotion, who was your typical lawyer pianist. And she was about to give up on this dating service, and this was her last date. And we hit it off immediately. And she was worried about never finding. She was worried about never finding someone as well. And then one day, under the pretext that I wanted to rehearse a song that I will be singing with music by Jacker Bont, I got on my knee, pulled out a LP of Wagner's The Ring, and proposed, saying, together we'll pick out a real ring. And anyway, next week we celebrate our 33rd anniversary. And here's the song. Better late than never, finding your real love. Better waiting years, locating one you're certain of. Better late than never, finding love that's true. Wiser when you're patient, then your lucky day comes through. When you have to wait for the things in store, you appreciate them even more. Growing gray, why ever be alone and blue? Better late than never, finding love that's true. If you just pay mind, never losing sight, somehow you can find the one who's right. Then you find forever comfort. Comfort known by few. Better late than never, finding love that's true. Will you marry me, Andrea?
Michael Colby, thank you. That was so sweet.
Thank you, technical director, for putting that together for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I tell you, yeah, that was definitely a case of I think I can, I think I can. As it was playing along, Jennifer Roberts, lots of hearts, and Andrea Colby says, "I said yes." She's watching on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, we hope you subscribe to the channel. We would love that. Share the levity. And Andrea said, "Love it." That's Maureen Taylor. Sweet song. Soraya says, "Welcome to the show." She's here watching. Tess LaBella in Florida. Enjoy. You're both blessed. Some wonderful comments. So glad I was able to get onto this. This is Bobby Horowitz. Hey, Bobby, our dear friend. We all know Bobby, right? I was on another event, and I love Michael Colby. I've known him since he was very young, which he still is. And then fell in love with the songs I adore, Jack as well. Bobby, great to see you on YouTube. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Last time we saw you was at David Freeman's, David and Sean's. I think it was one of the holiday. Nice. Thank you, Merlin. She's in Canada. And do you like to perform, Michael?
I like it, but I know there are people who are a lot better than me. So
hey, hats off to those who do it sort of regularly.
Right.
That was good.
Thank you. I live in awe of people's voices and talents in the New York theater.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here's another one. This one is Round the Table. Natalie Douglas, who was a guest a couple weeks ago on our show as well. She's amazing.
This was the introduction to the review version of the Algonquin Kid, and it kind of set the theme of the evening.
All right. Okay.
Alex Rybeck wrote the music.
Oh, Alex, yeah. All right. I think doing this show, I need a Peabody, an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony, and a drink. Here we go. Lots of levity on our show. Round the Table.
There's a place where Camelot was written, with a lobby theater folk would sit in, from Paris, LA, the Bronx, and Britain. Round the table, round.
For a drama fan, what constant joy in Spot and Miller, Williams and Saroyan, though you get the hook if too annoying. Round the table, round. Round the table, round the table, round the table, round the table, round. Round the table, round the table, round the table, round the table, round.
All the greats who gathered in a circle, from Sir Noel Coward to Suds Turkle, none can live forever but their work all. Round the table, round. When you need the world into extreme times, and you need more glamorous esteem times, you can still find comfort when your dream times. Round the table, round. Round the table, round the table, round the table, round the table, round. Round the table, round the table, round the table, round the table, round.
Weary daytimes, steady playtimes, round the table, round. Let's recall times, best of all times, round the table, round. Table round.
Table round.
There's a place where
There's
Camelot
a
was
place
written.
where Camelot
In the
was
lobby,
written.
theater
With the lobby, theater of the city. LA, the Bronx, and round the table,
round the table, round.
Camelot was
lobby
written.
theater
With the lobby, theater of the city. LA, the Bronx, and all around.
Round the table,
Round the table,
round the table, round the table.
round, the table round, the table round, the table round, the table round. There's a place where Camelot was written.
Michael Levine at the piano. And yes, Lowe wrote parts of My Fair Lady in Camelot at the Algonquin. I've got lots of stories about Lowe.
That is unbelievable, huh? I mean, when you think about it, the amount of years and history and memories all rolled up into one here, it's extraordinary. No wonder why you wrote a book. You had to.
I had to.
You couldn't. Yeah, you had to. It was a must. Now, here's you again, the return for an encore of Michael. And this time you are doing
a song from Charlotte Sweet, music by Gerald J. Marco. It's Music Hall Turn, and my song is Vegetable Reggie.
All right, here we go.
Oh, me wife and I have a vegetable love, so she'll cook and fry every time for me and dove. Her dishes hot and cool tempt me like a fool. Till I get them, I grow edgy, so I'm nicknamed Veggie Reggie. I can not imagine how peas are as creamy as her cowpeas. Her asparagus has tantalizing tips, and her jumbo cauliflowers have me gobbling for hours. That is why I'm known as Vegetable Reggie. How I relish her sweet pickle on the side with pumpernickel. I religiously adore her parsnips, and it's vegetably valid when I'm tossing up a salad. That is why I'm known as Vegetable Reggie. I love her dipping in her parsley, though she serves it to me sparsely, and her big potatoes have appealing chips, while her onions and her scallions have the force of 10 battalions. That is why I've grown as Vegetable Reggie. Now you will see how fast am I, practically unsurpassed am I. I can not imagine how peas are as creamy as a cowpeas, her asparagus and tantalizing tips, and her jumbo cauliflowers has me gobbling for hours. That is why I'm known as Vegetable Reggie. How I relish so sweet pickle on the side with pumpernickel. I religiously adore parsnips, and it's vegetably valid when I'm tossing up a salad. That is why I'm known as Vegetable Reggie. I love dipping in a parsley, though she's a to sauce again. Her big potatoes have appealing chips, while onions and her scallions have the force of 10 battalions. That is why I'm known as Vegetable
Michael Colby! Oh my goodness, you deserve like an A+ just for remembering the lyrics to that. My goodness.
How do you remember the lyrics to that? She said, yeah.
Michael McCormick was the original. He's a great friend of mine too.
That was terrific. How you doing there in that chair?
In my own little corner, in my own little chair.
Do you need to stretch at all?
No.
You're enjoying it. You're
having a
enjoying it.
wonderful time. Yes.
We have another one here. This is a good closer. The Theater Will Survive.
Yes.
Tell us about this one.
This is the music video that Ned Paul Ginsberg and I created with a host of wonderful musical theater people, and Sandy Jarrell helped promote this. And it can be, we did an actual show that can be bought on Vimeo, a 90-minute version, which also features Ben Vereen and Lynn Carrio. But this is the video per se. But in the all proceeds go to the Actors Fund, and you'll get some insights on what's going on how actors are dealing with the pandemic. But here's our song about hope.
That's beautiful. A song about hope, something that we definitely need right about now. The theater will survive.
The nights of Broadway, the lights of Broadway have never felt so far off. This lockdown drama has knocked down drama with every Broadway star off. But while it's not what anybody wants, from darkest days there comes a renaissance.
The streets are quiet mostly, and no one's strolling closely. Though Schubert Alley's ghostly, the theater will survive. From illness or rough tryout, reviews so bad you cry out, or buzz our biz will die out, the theater will survive.
For laughs, for thrills, for tunes that we hum back.
What else fulfills our love of live theater?
Prepare for its comeback. So say whatever you will.
This shine left in our jewel, and time for its renewal. The theater will survive.
Where else can you hear such clapping while in such a vibrant room?
Or show-stopping songs and tapping, not Facebook or Zoom.
It's something all full of our beats, excitement that's next to none. You're part of 1,000 heartbeats, responding as one. It's flourished since the Greek times, consoled through cold and bleak times. These months are not unique times. We walk through storms and thrive. Some say we lived, these may be our last days. I can't predict, the show must go on as resilient as past days. Those murders made us wary, like Spider-Man and Harry. It's true our fortunes vary, but nothing stops our drive.
So what's a nasty virus? No setback will retire us.
Our stage light still inspires. The theater will survive.
Through strike, through snow,
through war,
facts show
the
theater will stand.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been a wonderful
that's a knockout. That's a real knockout.
Well, I also want to thank you and Ralph Lampkin for asking me to be on the show. This has been a great honor and a wonderful presentation of my work, and I couldn't appreciate it more.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Absolutely. Wonderful comments coming in here from around the world. Bobby Horowitz, how you doing? Michael, Cameron community is such a lovely family. Thank you, Andrea. We appreciate that. It really is. Appreciate that. Christine, the curtains will rise and fall again. Juanita in South Africa. It's like 4 a.m. where she is, and she's still with us. She says, awesome. Marcia says, oh, that was wonderful. Tess Labella in Florida says those performances gave me chills. And let's see, Bernadette, yes, the theater will survive, which is wonderful. And Bobby says, I can feel Deborah cheering. Deborah cheering. That's beautiful. Tess Labella says, oh my God. Weenie Cats. Thank you, Jim, for giving Michael a platform to present Michael Colby in his many different talented angles, his shows, his book family, his amazing childhood, his worthwhile projects. Genuine heart, congratulations, Michael. Lovely to you, Jim. Thank you for that wonderful comment, Rainey. We appreciate that very much. Glad you're enjoying the Jim Masters Show live. Soraya gives lots of hearts and says, bravo, this is such a treat. Tess says, so much talent. Oh, I love it. All kinds of great comments this here from around the world. Comments coming in from around the world. Thank you so much, Jim. Jim, for a beautiful evening. Such a lovely tribute to my pleasure. This is what we do on the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. Every night, something different and unique, and lots of levity and inspiration on our positive show here. Very nice performance from Renee, watching it in a snowy Iowa. She got 3 inches of snow and counting in Iowa. Keep it west. We don't need it on the East Coast. We don't want it on the West Coast. We still have fall foliage to get through. John says, Michael, bravo, watching on YouTube. Hope you're subscribed to the channel as well, John. We love that. Love what you do, Jim Masters. Thank you, my friend Bobby. I appreciate that very much. We love you back. This has been amazing. Kathy Short as well. Really beautiful comments coming in here. Bobby goes, oh my God, snow. Yeah, keep it in the Midwest. We don't want it on the East Coast.
Enough troubles.
Yeah, there's enough. That's amazing. So many beautiful voices from Sherry showing line. So what do you think, my friend, when you see all of this and you go through the family archives and then the productions and then all this levity from our viewers around the world?
I think this is the closest I'll ever get to Ralph Edwards. This is your life.
This is your life, right? Pretty darn close in a way, right? Marcia says, another great show, Jim. Thank you very much, Marcia. As we get ready to tie things up here. Looks more like winter here today with all the snow we got. Yeah, in Iowa. Marilyn in Wichita, Kansas. Awesome. Thank you, Michael and Jim. Marcia Watson says, nice to meet you, Mr. Colby. He's going to sit up straight when you say Mr. Colby, right? Jennifer Roberts says, thanks, you too. You're so talented, Michael. And Jennifer was a guest on our show as well, and she was amazing. Really fabulous comments and all kinds of beautiful words here. Tess Labella. Thank you, Michael and Jimmy. Wonderful, wonderful. Another amazing show, Lovities. My pleasure, Tess, and I can't wait to receive that shipment of your fresh-baked homemade cookies. She's sending me cookies. She was a guest the other night. She was terrific. She's an actress, comedian, and voiceover artist. Bernadette. Jim, thank you once again for another wonderful night of entertainment and chat. Michael, what a gift you are. I mean, the body of work is extraordinary, and it's a good reminder for people, too, of some of the incredible projects that have touched their lives through your work and the collaboration and inspiration that has come together with other great artists, too. It takes a village to put it all together, right?
Yes. My family, the theater, and my engagement party, all those people were from my shows, and they were my family.
Yeah.
My musical mishpocha.
Right. What'd you call me? Well, Michael, this was terrific. Could you believe we've chatted for 2.5 hours? It felt like, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you for squeezing in so much material, too, and keeping an eye on it.
Absolutely. It's all about the flow and the continuity and having a good time as well during the process. And Juanita says, great show, guys. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your stories and talents with us.
And the Algonquin Kid can be found on Amazon. Oh, the Algonquin Kid can be found on Amazon. And so can the albums of Tales of Tinseltown and Charlotte Sweet.
Just happened to have a nice little box there conveniently next to you, right?
This is my birthday party, Quel Fromage. Anyway, I feel like my birthday is coming up this week, and this has been a great celebration.
It's coming up this week?
Yeah.
Ah, fantastic. This was a mitzvah. God bless you, Michael. So this week, are you a Libra?
Scorpio.
You're towards the end of the week. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Bobby Horowitz commenting as well. That's a song.
Good title. I'll work on it tomorrow, maybe.
That's it. All right, gang. Well, Michael, thanks for joining us. This was really a pleasure to have you here. And Renee is saying happy birthday, Michael. You're going to get a lot of the happy birthdays coming in here now as well.
My grandparents thank you. My family thanks you. And I thank you.
Christine says it was a phenomenal evening of theater and entertainment. Thanks for sharing your special stories with us through the videos, photos. Thanks, Michael and Jim. Lovity. And you're very welcome, Christina, North Carolina. I miss going to the theater here in Illinois. All of the theaters have great musicians and actors and actresses.
I went to Northwestern. There were 4 or 5 productions of Charlotte Sweet in Illinois. I like that state.
That's it, huh? Well, we toast you and we wish you a very, very happy birthday. All the best, all the continued blessings. Hopefully we'll see you soon in person once we are able to do all those things. And Andrea as well. It was a pleasure having her here, and Tess and Bobby and everybody watching. Before we wrap, when you look at all of this, what are some of those blessings and joys that continue to inspire you, Michael, all these years later?
Well, I just, there's nothing that I can really say about how lucky I was to be born in my family and the Algonquin Hotel, even with the craziness. That's what enriched my creativity. And there are so many talented people in the theater. And I never became one of the big names, but I have a legacy that I enjoyed sharing with you tonight, and thank you for that.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. And of course, here on our show, whenever we hear it's somebody's birthday, all of us, even though we can't hear their voices, but we can feel the lovities from around the world, we like to collectively sing happy birthday. So we're going to do that for you right now, since your birthday is coming up. Everybody ready to go?
It's my wife's birthday next week too. We celebrate both of them.
Michael and Andrea
too.
So yes. Michael and Andrea? Wow. Yes. All right, everybody, we ready? Ting, ting, ting on the glasses. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael and Andrea. Happy birthday to you. Very good, very good. Very nice. The host sings you happy birthday. Now, what host is going to do that?
Julie Wilson used to do that for me too.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. This is a birthday crowd, and they love when we talk about food on this show too. Food, food, food. You mentioned cake. They love it. So happy birthday to you. Couple more last minute comments. We'll see if we can get them in. Yeah, Bobby Horowitz says, yay, happy birthday. Sherry says, thank you so much for coming to Lovity Hall, which is what we call it. You're definitely now a Lovity. So once you're a guest or a viewer, you're considered one of our lovities. Lovity, I stumbled on. I was saying our show is about light, love, and levity. And I tripped up one day and I said levity instead. And everybody said, oh my God, keep that. So that's one of our phrases with our show here. And it does match the atmosphere of the show. Everybody's saying happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. See what we started here? Now all you have to do is talk about food.
That's going to be another half an hour of this.
Of just the birthday. Yeah, you got to have to slice up the cake. You're very welcome, Andrea. Absolutely. Look at all this. You got your birthday party going right here, right now, a virtual one, live on the show. All right, my friend, thanks for all the time. It was a pleasure, and continued blessings to you and the family, and continue creating. Hope we get a chance to get together in person, and I hope the show met your expectations and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks a million.
It was my pleasure. It's my pleasure. You have a good night. Stretch out those legs. I'm certainly going to. I've been standing. You're sitting. I'm standing.
Yeah. Oh.
That's it. So we're going to run around the block a few times. Stay safe and stay well, Michael.
Right. Thank you.
All right. You take care. You have a good night. Okay.
Yep.
Be well. Michael Colby on the Jim Masters Show live. Was that not a lot of fun too? We even sang him happy birthday, which we try to do if we have a moment or two to do that. It was terrific having him here. We appreciate all the time, and we got a chance to really dig deep too on this show, which we like to do. Great to see you here, Renee Katz. Yeah, she's here all the time, and she was a guest on our show as well. You too, Ralph. Good night to you and everybody. Soraya says, yes, food. You guys love food. We thank our very special guest, the one and only Michael Colby, for joining us here on the show. We'll let you know, coming up on November 15th, we've got somebody really special. This is a real exclusive treat as well. We have legendary multi-platinum record producer, musician, and songwriter, the one and only Phil Coulter, who's going to be here live from Ireland on November 15th at a special time, 3 p.m. Eastern, which will be, I believe it's like 7, 8 or so in Ireland. That's going to be great. Glenn Scarpelli is going to be joining us in November as well. You remember him, child actor from One Day at a Time on CBS in the 70s, and so much more, so much more. So we thank everybody for watching tonight. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Bobby, always nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well through all this craziness of 2020. Good night, everyone. Stay safe, healthy, and sane. Folks, if you're just joining us for the first time, we are live with our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, The Jim Masters Show Live, every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We've been doing this for 24 weeks, about 160 episodes, night after night, spring, summer, fall. Unbelievable. And a worldwide audience. Spread the word. Tell everybody. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. You can find us on Facebook, Jim Masters TV, Periscope, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at Jim Masters TV as well. And tune in. We always have incredible guests and so much more throughout the days. And it's really great. Just so many wonderful comments coming in here. Thanks for all the lovity, everybody, all the fantastic comments. Ralph says, so very happy everyone is loving this evening. This is somewhat of a triple header day on the special on the Jim Masters Show. Today's show, yes, Michael Colby. And tomorrow, yes, Steve is with us tomorrow. And Richard Maltby Jr. is with us on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's right. Cool stuff. So, just a few more comments coming in here. Thank you very much, Bernadette and Sue. You too, Kathy and Juanita. Another awesome show, Jim. Good night, everyone. Keep well and safe. You too. You as well, Kathleen in New York. Good night, Jim and everyone. Blessings to all. Renee, you too. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Jim. Happy birthday to Andrea and Michael. Absolutely. Good night, everyone. It was a wonderful night. Thank you, Ann Wozniak. Appreciate that. Good night, all. Fun time. Marilyn, you too. Thank you, Maureen. You as well. Everybody be safe and take care of yourselves. And as we always say here on, thank you very much, Sue. As we always say here on the Jim Masters Show Live, when we wrap up, relax, take care of one another, take care of yourself. Not every day is going to be perfect, but if you can relax, breathe from the diaphragm, and think about the blessings and the joys in your life, then hopefully your day will be a little bit better if it's not such a hot day. Again, not every day is perfect, but think about the blessings you do have in your life. So we're going to write. That's right. Everybody's saying relax. Try to relax as best as you can. We got this in Newport, Rhode Island. It's like a 1920s, 1930s beach scene. Isn't it kind of cool? We saw it in the store. Had to have it. And it's perfect for this show. Relax, everybody. Take care. Love one another, and be sure and love yourself as well. Good night, Soraya in Illinois. It was a pleasure having you here. We thank once again our very special guest, Michael Colby. Of course, we thank our friends at LMG, Lankin Music Group, for their love and time and attention as well. We appreciate them. And we appreciate all of you. And as I always say, put a smile on your face and try to share that smile with the world. Lovity, that's what we're all about. Try to share it. And find your Zen place. Mine is when I'm with loving family and friends, my work in television and radio, as well as cycling and tennis and music, and of course the ocean. Growing up on the coast, I love the ocean. It's sort of a Zen place for me. So find your Zen place and enjoy. All right, we're going to wrap up. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Tell a friend. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here. Have a good night.